This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV with Chris and Chums. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Pinterest. All you need for everything Leicester City FC. It's Leicester Till I Die TV.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on, you foxes!
Strap yourself in, because we're set up, switched on and ready to go.
Good evening, fellow Fox fans. How the devil are we? You ready for tonight's game? It's budget day, and so you got to ask the questions. Will Leicester City make a good account of themselves? See what I did there? And will the fans make an allowance for the fact that we've got half the team out? You know what? I shouldn't give up the day job, should I? It's a small matter of this in just over an hour, just under an hour. Yeah, we are off to the happy place, but will it be a happy place for Leicester or will it be a happy place for Burnley fans? Turf Moor. We're going to say good evening to Facebook user. He said he's not sure with that lineup. Welcome again to our Chelsea fan, who I'm sure wants to be a Leicester fan, EI official. Ben says, bricking it, mate. Lose today, then the ship is slowly sinking. And Brad, good evening, Brad. I like the 11 players and all that, but can someone figure out the formation? Yes, we can. Well, the BBC think they can anyway. And should we argue with the BBC? Probably. But let's see what our expert, I say, Josh, has to say about it. Good evening, Josh, the Alan Shearer of Leicester Till I Die.
Well, I'm glad you said it, Chris. How are you, mate? You all right?
Yeah, not so bad, not so bad. And when I say Alan Shearer, I'm probably going for the lack of hair rather than maybe the football knowledge. I'm only joking. But the big question is, of course, and it is a huge question, and we'll start with this one. Will Emma be relieved when it's all over tonight?
You know what? I watched that. I had to watch that back a few times, you know, and it just absolutely killed me every time. The comedic timing of it was absolutely perfect. It couldn't have gone any better. It was so funny. So funny.
I thought the viewing figures were high for that one. That will explain it.
It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And after the results as well, it was very timely. Put it that way.
For those that are wondering what we are on about, you've got to watch was it the watch along show? It was, wasn't it? Watch along show of the Arsenal game. Just say a few more comments coming in here now. Let's have a look. Facebook user, quite like the team lineup, very stacked midfield. Capable wing backs who can push forward, whilst Ndidi, Chowdhury, and Mendy can drop back. Feeling a Brendan masterclass. Brad is saying, Tyson, my old buddy, how are you?
I'm still waiting for that face to face with him, to be honest.
We'll have to bring it on. Cage fighting online. I'm not sure how virtual cage fighting works, but Stephen Collins says, guys, I'm scratching my head with that team selection. Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the team, shall we, before we go into the cage fighting. WWE or whatever it is. We'll have to come up with a name for it. Now, the BBC have gone for 4-4-2. Josh, would you agree with that?
No, mate. Being honest, I don't see how Chowdhury starts on the left wing and how Tielemans starts on the right wing.
No.
It's obviously a 3-5-2 for me, pal. Indeed, Cags and Amati centre backs, then Ricardo and Castañas as wing backs.
And we've got two sort of holding midfielders there in Chowdhury and Mendry, I presume, either side of Tielemans to push forward.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are questioning the lineup, but what else can he do, really? Apart from obviously starting some of the youngsters, and are they, the players that haven't played yet for us, are they ready to be thrown in it, especially away to Burnley? It's always a tough place to go. Like I say, what else can he do? Maddison's out. We've got Pratt's out on a long-term injury, and ideally it's a game that Pratt had come into if he was fit, and he'd have slotted right in. But it's just not the way the season's gone for us with injuries, unfortunately.
Does somebody just want to inform number one Scat Molly? We have actually got a game this evening. I mean, those players. To me, it's the formation that worries me. I'm never comfy personally with the three at the back. And I think, when you look at the Arsenal game where he changed formation, I know he's got to go with what he's got to go with. And I've read somewhere that we actually are a team that can change formation during the game. I don't know if that's particularly true or not, but we change formation and we seem to play really badly. We don't have that free-flowing game. I don't know if you feel the same.
I do agree. The thing is, like playing sort of 3-5-2, you're obviously relying on your wing-backs to your width, basically, and you've got to rely on them to get forward and get back. Ricardo and Castaña, they've done it before, so that don't really worry me, but it's in the midfield where, like you say, it looks like we're playing a double pivot with Mendy and Chowdhury as sort of the two sitting midfielders, and then there's a lot of pressure on Yuri today to create as much as he can, really, because you're not really going to get that much out of Mendy and Chowdhury, really. Chowdhury's obviously brilliant in the tackle, and Mendy's passing's a lot better than what people give him credit for, but I look at the lineup, and like I say, I don't think he could have done any more, really, aside from start a couple of the youngsters. But you don't really want to do that, especially after a loss against Arsenal. You want to come back strongly with a win if you can. Just worried about the creativity today, mate. That's all.
Yeah, and I think I know what you say about the youngsters, and I agree totally. It's probably the wrong game for them to come into. I mean, Craig mentioned on the preview show last night that it might be the wrong game for the youngsters. Burnley are a very physical side, and the youngsters would probably do better against the Brighton on the weekend rather than Burnley today. I just wonder if you couldn't have had Albrighton and Under on the wings there more. We've got indeed in defence. To me, is a little bit wasted, and I know, like I say, we are down to what we've got, if you like, making the best of a bad job. I just think we need to go at them today.
You're right, and I was going to say you're spot on with the Under and Albrighton call. I'm surprised neither of them are starting, if I'm being honest. I didn't think we'd play a back three with wing backs at all. It's a strange one, and it's sort of horses for courses. And I mean, Brendan, he's his hands are tied with how many players we've got out. And I suppose it's matches like today, and the games are coming thick and fast now. Before you know it, the end of the season's going to be here. It sort of shows how January we didn't bring anybody in, and is that it's things like that could sort of cost you with games like today. Because as you say, Burnley are really physical. It's an horrible place to go and get at least a point, really, let alone a win. Yeah. And the way they play football, it's we just got to keep fingers crossed we don't get any more injuries today, mate.
I tell you what, we could be playing the dinner ladies at this rate. And night a slow signed winding football by the look of it. That team is picked not to lose rather than win the game. That's a fair point there from Stephen. EI official, by the way, just to let you know, I've just blocked Iceman, so he thought he was getting away with it. He's been a bit of a div and he's been blocked. I forgot what I was going to say now. Yeah, is it almost more important not to lose than to win tonight?
Maybe you could say that after the Arsenal game Sunday, when as we did the watch along, the performance was really poor. Thought we started first 10, 15 minutes, we started okay, and then after that it just went to pot. So you could sort of understand why Brendan set us up in this way to not lose. I think the comment that just came up is a really valid point. I think going away to Burnley with the players we've got out injured and the players we've got at our disposal already, I think going away to Burnley and grabbing a point wouldn't be the end of the world, to be honest. I think it wouldn't be a bad point considering, like I say, the injuries we've got. I agree with that. I think it's sort of, he could have picked Tavares, gone a bit more attacking in the midfield, but I think it looks like he's set up to, get a point at worst if possible. But obviously, if we can nick a couple of goals and grab the win, then so be it.
We've got, and we've been saying this all season, the next so many games are important, the next so many games. But if you look at this, and I made this point last night with Craig on the preview show, Burnley, Brighton, Sheffield United, we've then got United in the cup, but just concentrating on the league games at the moment, Burnley, Brighton and Sheffield United. If we go back 4 weeks, we'd be looking at 9 points now, and I made the point, could we get 3 points?
It's going to be tricky because, you could say Sheffield United completely gone, and as the table shows, you'd probably be right. But strange things have happened in football. But every single one of them still in, a relegation dogfight. Brighton are still down there. They play cracking football. Remind me of when we did the Great Escape. We played good football. We just weren't getting the results. So they're going to be fighting for it. Again, Sheffield United, they're going to need all the points they can get, so they'll be up for it. And Burnley tonight, mate. It sounds daft, and our away form's been a lot better than his home form this season. But I've been at home tonight, I'd felt a bit more confident. But because it's Turf Moor, and I don't really think we haven't got an amazing record there, and especially midweek as well after a tough game against Arsenal on Sunday. Yeah. I'm a bit worried tonight, mate.
And we've got. And I was talking again last night. Brighton haven't got a game this week. They don't play after the weekend till next weekend when they play us. I think they asked for the game to be moved, Craig said, and it was allowed. And Burnley asked for this game to be moved to later in the season because of injuries, and it wasn't. But that's not going to help us, is it? Because the last thing we want now is get 2 games a week all the time. It's not getting any better. But you made the point about the table. If we look at the table there, Burnley, they're only 5 points off Fulham, and they've been on a good run. Fulham could, easily do a Leicester. I think Burnley are safe. I think there's worse teams. Southampton are in free fall at the moment. Burnley beat us today. They can overtake Southampton. Brighton aren't safe yet, and like you say, Sheffield United are just playing for pride as much as anything.
Exactly, and I think what people need to realise is with the Sheffield United thing, I think at the minute are they level with what Derby County got points total when they got relegated? Was it 2007, 2008?
I'm not sure. To be honest with you, yeah.
I think it is 11 points. I'm not too sure. You probably have to check me on that. But again, you know, I hate to say it because I do like Sheffield United, but it looks like they are going down. I'd like to be proved wrong. But again, you know, if they're going to go down, they're going to go down with a fight. We all know what Chris Wilder's teams are like, and it's surprising to see where they are this season. But
it is after last season, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, I mean, like you say, 3 or 4, you know, 4 or 5 weeks ago, you look at his fixture and you're thinking, yeah, we can, you know, start picking up wins here. But over the last 2 or 3 performances in the league, I know Villa we won, but you sort of look at them thinking potential banana skins there, really. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
I mean, we kind of have a doom about the place at the moment, and I guess that's the fact that we're out of Europe when perhaps didn't expect to be. You know, if we'd have got a Milan team or you know, a Spanish team, we might have accepted it more. But you know, the performance wasn't there. They deserved to go through over the 2 legs, and then to lose in the manner that we did against Arsenal. And it wasn't just, like I keep saying, it wasn't just the fact that we lost, it was the performance that we've lost. But it isn't, you know, as bad. If you just look at the league, we've only actually I think we've only lost 1 in 15. You know, if you look at that last 5 there, yes, we lost to Arsenal, but before that, we were certainly unbeaten for quite a while. And, you know, Burnley, they're not doing so bad either. But I don't think it's maybe all as doom and gloom as we perhaps are thinking.
No, I think obviously because we've lost the last 2 games, albeit in the Europa League and the league, it definitely puts a downer on things. I think had we beat Slavia Prague on Thursday and then lost to Arsenal, we maybe wouldn't be feeling this way. And then vice versa, you know, if we'd lost to, you know, we did lose against Slavia, but then beat Arsenal on Sunday, it's sort of the case of, well, you know, it sort of is what it is, and you're obviously feeling a lot better. But I think when you lose 2 games on the bounce, especially after, you know, we've been in really good form, and we are in really good form, it's sort of, you're sort of sitting back thinking, well, hang on, we ain't really used to losing in the last 15, 16 games, and it hits you a bit harder, I think, especially after the season we've had, performing well above what I thought we were going to anyway. I think it's just vital we don't, to be honest, like I say, I'd take a point tonight. I think it's vital we don't lose just to get sort of that out of the way, you know, get us out of the losses column as soon as possible.
Yeah. Ben, I agree with you there. It might be a case of 3-0 in injuries rather than actual goals. Who knows? We can't afford anymore. We are down to almost. But then again, we were down to the bare bones, and we forget this at the start of the season, and we've still we're still sat in third. Brendan, we've lost a couple. Everybody's having to go at him, but where he's got us with the injuries, and I know a lot of other managers have had injuries this season, of course they have, but where are Liverpool, where are Arsenal, where are Tottenham? They'd all swap positions with us, and they've probably had as many, in Liverpool's case, possibly more injuries than we've got at the moment. Brendan's still done an absolutely amazing job.
Definitely, and I think you just look at, obviously, like you mentioned, other teams there, and, you know, Liverpool, the injuries they've got, Klopp's really struggling with them. I expect them to be up there towards this sort. Well, I think the business end of the season, I think they're going to really push for top 4. And like I say, we're not the only teams with injuries, but I think we're one of the teams where we've had a lot of unfortunate injuries to so many first team players. And like you say, for me, he's been absolutely superb this season. Certain games he's not got it right, but the majority of games he has. And I think any other manager who'd have been here, whether it had been Puel, Ranieri, or whatever, they'd have nowhere near performed as well as Brendan has, that's for sure.
I think, a lot of people, if you take the blue tinted spectacles off, you would look and say, we've overperformed this season.
Definitely. And I agree. I've said it many times. I thought this season, anywhere in the top 8 and a decent Europa League run, would be a really good season. Fair enough, Europa League run's finished now. Put that to bed. For me, I mean, even to be where we are now, and to be as many points clear of the champions, Liverpool, it speaks volumes for how well we have done this season. I think you're right. I think we have overperformed to a certain extent purely for the players that we've had out. No matter what, I think it's the squeaky bum time of the season. Really, you need to pick up as many wins as you can, and obviously try and build a gap with the teams below you. But for me, mate, it's to even be as disappointed as we were after losing to Arsenal, but still sitting third in the table in the Premier League, the best league in the world. It speaks volumes of how far we've came as a club in the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. As Emma would probably say, let's hope for an overperformance tonight. This is going to be a running theme now till the end of the season.
That's it. Now you're going to have to try and think of like a different quip for each show now.
I don't even know if Lee's watching tonight. He's probably been banned by Emma. But,
yeah.
Lee, I hope your performance gets a 10 out of 10. We're going to say good evening to Stefan, the Villa fan. Hi, Josh and Chris. How are you? Big game tonight at 6, Villa versus Sheffield United. Come on, Blades. Sorry, Stefan. You know, I really do hate the Villa, but what can I say? If we need to, let's go back and have a look at the bench, because we've got some of those youngsters on the bench. Fofana. Now I'm surprised, at Fofana, but there was rumours during the week that he could be back. Good that he again. I suppose Brendan's really tempted at times to think, yeah, he's back, but he's never rushed any players in, has he?
No, and I think after the amount of injuries we've had, maybe he's been a bit more cute with it now and thinking, you put Fofana in tonight, and again, it's a physical game. He's a young lad, but I suppose in his first season in the Premier League, going away to a team like Burnley, it's going to be tricky for anybody, especially someone as young as he is. I'm glad he's not playing, purely for the fact that if he got injured again, then looks like I don't know how long Johnny Evans is going to be out. Obviously, he's not playing tonight, and then you're thinking, bloody hell, like, what are we going to do? It's another one where he's sort of come back at the right time. As we say, we don't know how long Johnny Evans is going to be out for. Hopefully, not too long, because for me, he's our number one centre back. Fofana's come back at the right time, but again, Brendan, he's done it spot on for me. Don't rush him back. Hopefully, he doesn't have to play tonight, so it's even more rest for him, and he can sit out as long as he needs to.
The short-term gain by bringing these players back too quickly outweighs the long-term gain of having them back fully fit, and we've seen that. He hasn't done it with Maddison, I think that's how Brendan is. But you've got 3 youngsters in the subs tonight. Daley Campbell, who played brilliantly when he came on. 4, sorry. Thomas, he had a game, bad game against Arsenal. But, it's hard to say you had a bad game against Arsenal, Thomas, when 10 of your teammates had just as bad games. And obviously, Les Barlett and Tavares. Thomas has had more good games than bad games for us.
Without doubt, mate, and I'll sing his praises all the time. He weren't great on Sunday, but you look against the wingers he's coming up against. Pepe, with £70-odd million player. Willian, he's won Premier Leagues with Chelsea and all sorts. So he come up against some tricky opposition, and people can slag off Pepe and Willian as much as they want, but on the day they can rip any team apart, and unfortunately it was on Sunday, and it was going to be a tough game for whoever started left back for us on Sunday. So it's not a knock on Luke Thomas at all. For me so far, again, I think he's been absolutely superb for us, and he hasn't looked out of place in the majority of games he's played.
No. Daley Campbell, he had a good game the other time when he was at Brighton in the FA Cup when he played. He looked a prospect. Obviously, having come from Arsenal as well. So, the future's not dull, is it?
Not at all. And I think it's testament to Brendan as well, and for the belief he has in these players to bring them in. I know it seems like now we've sort of got no choice but to fill the bench up with young lads, but I think, you know, even before sort of when we were sort of looking back to full strength, you know, like you say, Daley Campbell, he come in and he were involved in some match day squads. Luke Thomas has been involved in the majority of squads this season. I know the Sidney Tavares, I know he's quite hyped up with the youth team, and people speak really well of him. So I think we'll see a lot more of him. And then, you know, you look at it, you know, we've got Dewsbury all as well out on loan at Luton. He's doing really well for them, so he could come back and play a big part for us next season. So it's I think for the youth academy wise, to be able to bring that amount of youth through in a season as he has done, and he's given for the game time he's given me, it's the best start. It's the best I've seen us set up youth academy wise for quite a while.
What was it Alan Hansen once said? You win nothing nothing with kids.
That's true.
but, you know, and didn't Alex stuff that back down his throat? You know, but I mean, that Tavares is being allegedly courted by some of the biggest clubs around Europe, and we're in contract negotiations. And, you know, when we look at, well, you know, we haven't bought anybody in, but we spent a hell of a lot of money on a training facility, which will hopefully bring the youngsters through. I know probably it's a bit early to say they've come because of the new training facility, but these players are coming through and they are there. And for the long-term prosperity of the club, if we don't have to go out and spend 40 million quid on a midfielder because we've got Tavares, it's got to be good for us.
Exactly, and hopefully that's the case. As you say, with the training, you know, the new training ground, it's one of the best around I've ever seen anyway. And I suppose with the amount of facilities and everything that's there, really, for the youth players, it's only going to bring them on and make them perform better and make them better players, definitely.
I mean, I live down just outside Bournemouth, and I've been to sort of Bournemouth ground quite a bit, watching Leicester and other games. And, you know, when you look at their training facility is a building and a pitch next to the main ground, and you look at then what we've got, it's different worlds. It is totally and utterly, you know, different worlds, and we should think ourselves very, very lucky. Scott is just saying here, this has got counter-attack all over it tonight. Backs to the wall, hoping to hit them on the counter. Hope I'm wrong, we play well, but I can see us inviting them onto us tonight. Counter-attacking hasn't done us bad in the past, has it, Josh?
Not at all. It won us a title at the end of the day, did it?
Exactly. Yes, you know, it's a risky game, obviously, but my worry is Chris Woods is back tonight, because Burnley, they've got 4 or 5 out, but Chris Woods likes to score a goal against his old club, doesn't he?
He does, and you know what? He's a player. Some Leicester fans give him stick, but he's a player who I still really like. I think his time with us towards the end of his career with us, it would be a strange one, really. You know, he weren't getting picked as much, and it sort of came out of the blue, really. And then it's a strange one, but he's a player I really like. I think, you know, for what he does, he's very effective. He's obviously brilliant in the air. He's got a good shot on him as well, and he's a player I look back on as a Leicester fan fondly when he played for us, definitely. And he's a player that can cause you all sorts of problems, especially in, you know, aerial balls and things like that.
He's got a good head on him, and of course he came to us with I can remember doing a graphic about, because he just scored 6 or something in a game or whatever. He you know, I remember doing the 6 shooter with the Western hat on him and everything. I think he suffered, unfortunately, with the emergence of Vardy and Nugent, who, let's be honest with you, when them two played in the Premier League, they just hit it off, didn't they? They even in the Championship, they hit it off. And I think Wood scored our first goal back in the Premier League, didn't he? I think he got the goal equaliser against Everton. I mean, he certainly scored in our first game back, I'm sure. And I just think he suffered. Yeah, I think he suffered like Kramaric, you know, bit like Inacho's doing, with Vardy doing so well, unfortunately. I wish we still got him in the squad, definitely. It's that time. I'm going to come to you now, and we're going to have a look at the predictions here. LeicesterTillIDie.com/predictions. You'll find there what the X-Foxes and myself think we're going to do. Again, just for the sake of, keeping everybody informed, I have to say I am top of the league there. Looking down on the 3 X-Foxes. If I just mention it in passing, but none of us got a point against Arsenal. But anyway, Walsh has gone for a 2-1 Leicester. Ian Marshall's gone for a 1-0 Leicester. Steve Lynitz has gone 2-0 to Burnley, but I think there's some reverse psychology in there because, like I've said many times, he's only got one prediction right all season. So he's decided that if he goes that and he'll get it wrong and we'll win. I said, and I agreed with what you said earlier, Josh, I wouldn't necessarily grumble at a point tonight out of the next 3 games. I think it is the toughest of the 3. But I've gone for a 1-1 because I can see Chris Wood scoring against us. But what are you going to go for? And is it going to come from a corner?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I'm hoping that wink. I'm hoping that's a bit of reverse psychology. I'm going to go with you, Chris. I thought it was going to be 1-1 as well, and I'll go for 1-1.
Brilliant, mate. Thanks very much, as always. Game kicks off in about 16 minutes' time. I'll see you on Tuesday night when we've got a Premier League review. We're going to be looking at the good, the bad and the ugly of Leicester City and the good, the bad and the ugly of the Premier League in general, 2/3 into the season. I'm the ugly, you're the good, we just need the bad. In fact, no,
I don't think you get the bad. You could get the Brad in. Get Brad on.
Well, actually, we've actually got Richard Smith, the ex-Fox player, joining us. So he's the good. You're the bad, I'm the ugly. Let's say that. Richard Smith, he played 98 times for us in between 88 and 96. So he was with us a long time. So he's joining us on Tuesday. I'll see you then, Josh. Enjoy the game, mate. Have a good night. Stay safe, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Let's hope we're celebrating in 100 odd minutes.
Looking forward to it, Chris. Cheers, mate. Enjoy the game, pal.
Take care. Bye now.
Bye, buddy.
Bye. Thanks to Josh for that there. Let's just have a look at a few last comments coming up and see what people are doing. Stephen Collins has gone for 3-1. Hope you're right, Stephen. Thomas, if we do not win tonight, we might struggle for top 4 again. We say that, but we're not the only ones struggling. Take Man City out of the equation, but even they struggled at the start. A small matter of 5-2 against Leicester. But Man United could only manage a draw the other day. Was it West Brom? I believe it was. We lost to Arsenal. They could only draw. They didn't take advantage. Other teams are dropping points as well. So I know what you're saying, Thomas, and it's a fair point. Fingers crossed, eh? And Scott, 2-1 Foxes in that show with the winner. Yeah, come on. Let's get it there. In Itchy. Come on, Itchy. Get us a goal. Get us the winner tonight, mate. 94th minute again. Well, maybe not. Don't think my heart would do that. Guys, you can pick us up on all the podcasts if you preferred podcasts. Apple iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, and Google. Just search Leicester Till I Die, and you will find us there. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Enjoy the game. Let's hope we're going to be celebrating 3 points in 100 odd minutes. We're going to be back for the post-match show at 8:30. Me, Brad, hopefully Julian Watts, the ex-Leicester player, will be joining us as well if he's available. We'll see you then. Let's hope we're talking about a win this time. It would be nice. We've been talking about too many losses. Stay safe, guys. See you at about 8:30 post-match. Goodbye now.
Hello, Matt Elliott here. Be sure to watch Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and follow all their social media platforms for all the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Leicester Till I Die podcasts on the Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor, and all podcast platforms.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.